Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Wenzel, and I'd like to welcome you to the very first episode of Freepod, a local news resource for everyone in the Freeport area. This weekly podcast is brought to you by a large group of volunteers hoping to provide objective, unbiased, and nonpartisan news specific to our community. We're dedicated to accuracy, so if you find any mistakes, please help us to correct our errors quickly and openly.
And hi, folks. I'm Lynn Fever. It's January 4th, 2024. Happy New Year. Our stories today include an update on local health issues, some news about community plans for a National Day of Racial Healing, changes in the local business environment, the Freeport High School Student Garden, and more. So let's get started on the news you've been missing by telling you a little bit about what Freepod hopes to be all about. As Alan said, we're a local volunteer group that hopes to address our relative lack of local news by launching a weekly, short, free podcast to communicate local news. At around 8 to 10 minutes weekly, Freepod is not meant to replace full-scale daily news media, but it is intended for everyone. We hope that Freepod will help our whole community, young families, neighborhoods, seniors, voters, local businesses, all stay informed. As our efforts unfold over the coming weeks, we hope to cover news from local taxing bodies and governmental organizations, events of broad public interest such as recreational opportunities, arts, educational presentations, major school activities, and similar community-wide events, significant local sports, business and organizational news, and human interest and intriguing community history stories.
Since we're only podcasting weekly, we aren't going to be the place where you can find the scores from last night's game or a complete list of community events. But if you'd like to find those things, check out our website at www.freepod.org. You'll find links that are easy to follow, easy to use, and will give you access to some of this information. Now, because we wanted Freepod to be free to everyone, and since we're all volunteers, we've decided to do a podcast instead of a printed news piece, because it's a lot easier to produce and distribute and less costly. You can listen to Freepod on our website, or if you have a podcast app such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we'll be listed in those too. Now, we might not appear on your favorite listening platform immediately, but we're working on it. So if you sign up through our website, we'll send you a link to your computer or smartphone every Thursday when we post a new episode.
A transcript of each episode will also be posted on our website for those of you who prefer to read their news. So we'll tell you a little more about this next week, about how we hope to find and report on the news that you've been missing, and the folks on our volunteer team. In the meantime, check out the website for more information and to sign up for each new episode, and maybe to help us make this all work. So now, let's hear some of the news you've been missing. Alan?
Let's start with an update on local health issues. Our region hasn't been as hard hit as many urban areas, but people are still getting sick from a variety of seasonal illnesses. Locally, the three diseases we hear most about are COVID, the flu, and RSV. Now, it's hard to gather local data on how widespread any of these are in our community. For example, because home COVID tests are readily available, many people who test positive at home don't feel sick enough to see a doctor. Now, the three diseases, right now, RSV seems to be the most prevalent, according to Margie Kochsmeyer of the FHN Infection Control and Clinical Quality Department. Margie reminds us that babies, toddlers, and those over 60 are especially vulnerable to RSV. Now, with respect to COVID, Kochsmeyer states that this isn't the same COVID that we've known in the past, because it's a new strain. Now, the current COVID vaccine is just that, a vaccine formulated to protect against this new strain of the disease and to protect you against severe illnesses caused by the COVID strain. Now, in case you're wondering how the symptoms of flu, COVID, and RSV overlap, check out the visual on our website, www.freepod.org. By the way, Kochsmeyer says it's not too late to be vaccinated against all three of these diseases. For more information, visit FHN's website, contact your local provider, or local pharmacy. We'll try to keep you posted on disease developments as the winter progresses. Stay healthy.
On a different note, here's an upcoming event that you may be interested in. As prelude to the National Martin Luther King Day holiday on January 15, a National Day of Racial Healing is scheduled in Freeport for Saturday, January 13, beginning at 9:30 at the Public Library. Presentations and conversations are planned on a series of topics, including why racial healing matters, health equity, growing up and being Black in Freeport. There's a long list of community residents you may know who will be participating in the program. This includes LaFrancine Baker, Paulette Williams-Thomas, Ramon Viveros, Stacy Kleindell, Maria Adams, Carlene Johnson, Reverend Leon Ishman. Also, Audrey Moore Howard, Johnny Lewis, Denario Thomas, Dr. Shalonda Randall from the school district, and Dr. Julie Hartman Link from Highland Community College, as well as other experts from the region who will be there. Again, the event is being held at the Freeport Public Library, begins at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, January 13, and concludes shortly after noon. You can check our website for the complete schedule. The Community-Wide Coordinating Committee hopes to see you at the library on the 13th.
You may have noticed outside that recently it's been cold and gray, but at Freeport High School, it's not too early to be thinking about spring. The Freeport Student Garden and Urban Agricultural Program has received several grants to build a new greenhouse that will be attached to the ag classroom, and that's according to instructor Ben Skypor. Our greenhouse will be used for lab experiments, growing houseplants, and planting seedlings, said Skypor, and we plan to start growing flowers too, in addition to expanding our vegetable garden. 60 students are involved in the urban agricultural class, and many others volunteer their time, do community service, or apply for jobs in the busy summer growing season. Now, both the classroom work, where students learn the principles of running an urban garden, and hands-on labor working outside in the garden are part of the curriculum. Now, the program is already attracting attention for its innovative work. Freeport High Ag students competed in a recent food production career development event and scored first place out of 8 high school teams. They're also the first known high school in the United States to encourage broader access to fresh produce by accepting SNAP and EBT payments for purchases from a student garden. By the way, funds are still needed to complete the new greenhouse, and contributions can be made in honor or memory of someone special. To find out more about the ag programs at Freeport High School, go to Freeport Student Garden on the Facebook page or access the school district's website at fsd145.org.
Though you may not have heard about it, Freeport folks have received a lot of awards and recognition in the past few months. We're going to have quite a few more to tell you about in the coming weeks, but to start us off, here's a story that I'm really pleased to report. Greta Harrell, who has worked for the Freeport School District since 1989, was recently honored with a statewide Outstanding Service Award at the annual Illinois Joint School Board Conference in Chicago. Harrell has served as secretary for the Freeport School Board and assistant to the district superintendent for 23 years. She's a Freeport native and a graduate of Freeport schools. In his letter nominating Greta for the statewide award, board president Jack Sosnowski wrote, "I have never worked with anyone as devoted, passionate, and competent in their role as Greta Harrell." The district superintendent, Dr. Anna Alvarado, wrote, "Greta Harrell's unwavering commitment to achieving and surpassing goals has set a remarkable precedent for all of us. She understands that the goal is always to put students at the forefront of decisions. Her innovative thinking and groundbreaking solutions have enhanced the quality of everyone's work. Her ideas will leave an indelible mark on our organization." In addition to her duties at the school board, Greta also serves as vice chair on the Freeport Housing Authority Board of Commissioners and as president of Citizens United for Rights, Respect, and Equity. Congratulations on the State School Award, Greta, and thanks from the whole community for your excellent work and being such a great ambassador for our area.
In local business news, there are some companies that have been coming and going recently in the Freeport area. A new Mexican restaurant, La Patrona, has opened at 1725 Im Boulevard, just off of South Street in Freeport. It's at the same location as the previous home of Yaxie's and Diamond Dave's. Owned and operated by Gustavo Gomar and Claudia Palomino, La Patrona offers traditional Mexican recipes and specializes in birria, a braised, shredded beef dish, and flights of margaritas. Now, Gustavo, who hails from Guanajuato, Mexico, loves to cook, and is thrilled to serve the community. He says, I've been in town for 5 years, working at area restaurants, and I'm excited to now have La Patrona to bring new flavors to Freeport. We've been blessed with crowds during our soft opening. We have 12 employees working hard to keep our customers happy, and we plan to expand in the future. There you have it, a new place to go out to eat. La Patrona is open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Sundays. Another new restaurant, Rockford's staple Beefaroo, plans to open in the spring or summer of 2024 and will be located in the Meadows Shopping Center on Freeport's south side. We'll provide you more details on this new restaurant as they become available. In other business news, Generations Boutique, a popular clothing, home decor, and gift shop located on Chicago Avenue in Freeport, will soon be closing its doors after 14 years. Owner Sherry Mooring says, I plan to retire, and I'd like to join my staff in thanking the loyal customers who have supported the boutique over the past years. All items in the store are 50% off.
As we said earlier, we're not going to be the right place to find out about every community sports activity, but here's a notable local achievement that we want to pass along. We congratulate Freeport High School senior Diedrich Macon, who scored his 1,000th point as a pretzel at a recent basketball game against Rockford East. That's a lot of baskets. His father, Dimitrik, also hit the 1,000-point milestone when he played basketball for the Pretzels. Your next opportunity to see Diedrich in action would be this Friday, January 5th, against Belvedere North at 7:30 in the high school gym. Congratulations, Diedrich.
Well, Lynn, this episode's gone by pretty quickly. That's it for today, but we'd like you to tune in again next week when we'll have more information about Freeport area businesses, the area's economic condition, the city's plans and progress, and more area rewards and recognitions. Freepod couldn't come to you without the help of many local supporters. In particular, we'd like to recognize Highland Community College's Mass Communications Department for recording, producing, and distributing our podcasts. They make this podcast easy to find and relatively easy on the ears. We couldn't do it without them. If you'd like to be involved, get in touch with us through our website at www.freepod.org. You can send us feedback and ideas for future stories and sign up to be notified when a new pod is posted. As we get going, you'll be able to find all of our previous podcasts and the written transcripts on the website.
So I'm Lynn Fever, and along with Alan Wenzel, we thank you for listening to this inaugural episode of Freepod. Please let your friends and neighbors know about us. We hope to provide everyone local news we can trust and stories we'll enjoy. The news you've been missing.